Hey guys, Lauren here. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be giving you a long overdue plant tour of my kitchen slash dining room. And I've gotten a lot of new plants since my last plant tour. Some of them you may recognize from my previous, but I'm sure there's going to be a lot of new ones that maybe you haven't seen before. So without further ado, welcome to my apartment and I hope you enjoy the tour. Starting out here in my kitchen, I have a lovely Sansevieria trifasciata. It's pretty tall. I just love the way it looks here and adds a little greenery to the corner with the pretty variegation and the yellow stripes on the edges of the leaves. And over here on top of my fridge, I have a ZZ plant. Super easy to care for. It doesn't need a ton of sunlight. This guy's about 6 to 8 feet back from a west-facing window. And doesn't need a lot of water either, so really easy plant to just throw up there and enjoy. Also on my fridge, I have a little cactus magnet that one of my friends gave me for Christmas. Again, super easy to care for, doesn't need a ton of water, so I just water this guy about once a month and he seems to be just fine. Moving on here next to my sink, I have a little tray of some plants, and my very favorite of the group is my arrowhead. It's just so happy in this location. You can tell that it's thriving, and every time that I look at it, it's putting off a new leaf somewhere or unraveling, and you can just tell how happy it is, which really just makes me happy. And the leaves are so pretty. The variegation is just so beautiful on the sky. I could stare at it all day and I love it. And then the next plant I want to talk about is my gold dust dracaena. I had this plant a little too close to the window. You can see some of the browning there where it got burned, but I pulled it back to this tray here, which is about 4 feet back from the west facing window, and it's really started to pick up. It has put off a few new leaves and it looks like it's gonna continue once this spring picks up. And then you can see this poor brown leaf of my aloe. So my aloe is just thriving all around, but it's got these 2 leaves, this one and this one, that just has brown on it. I'm thinking about just cutting them off. I don't know if it's just dirt or what. It just doesn't seem to wipe off, so I'm kind of concerned. But then overall the aloe is doing really well. It's always putting off new arms, so I'm not too concerned about this guy. Here you can see I have a Monstera deliciosa cutting. It's in some water. I'm propagating this for a friend and I've been propagating it for way too long, I'm gonna be honest. The roots are growing out of the pot. But if you can see back here, it's actually putting off a new leaf in the water, and that little baby leaf there too is a new one. So it's doing okay back here. I needed to get it to my friend soon so it doesn't live its fate out in this little glass vase. And here we have my problem child. I just watered it. This is a peace lily. I just watered it, so it should perk back up, but this is what we do. It droops, I water it, it perks, but it never flowers and it never does anything else. It's always unhappy, but I refuse to give up on this plant. And then lastly, here I have my little alocasia. It seems to always just put off one leaf and then the big leaf dies and a new leaf will come in. So this is actually the new leaf, but it's got a little browning on the tip. I don't see a new leaf coming in just yet. So hopefully this plant will survive. It's just got such beautiful leaves with those strong veins. It looks like a dinosaur plant or something. And anyway, this is my kitchen counter, which carries some of my very favorite plants over here. And then in the corner, I have just a little collection with a ZZ plant in the back. Again, nice for a corner that doesn't get a ton of light. And then I have a bit of a Sansevieria collection over here. I love Sansevieria. They're so easy and so beautiful. Here I have a Sansevieria moonshine. One of my followers on my last video my last plant tour let me know that that was the moonshine, and I clearly need to repot it. I don't usually recommend repotting in the winter time, but this one really desperately needs it, so I might do a repotting on this guy here next weekend. And then hiding here over in the corner, this is the Sansevieria trifasciata. I love this plant. It's the dark green with just the sage color variegation. So pretty, and I just really love the aesthetic that it brings to that little nook with the different colors on the Sansevieria moonshine versus this trifasciata over here. And then here I just have my Sansevieria whalefin Sansevieria. I'd been looking for this one forever, and so I got it, and it was just this big leaf in the back, and it's putting off this little baby. So I think I can wait till spring to repot this, but I'm so happy to have another whalefin. And then lastly here, I just have a Sansevieria honii, which means like the bird's nest formation that it's growing in, which was a baby off of another one of my plants that I repotted. Hanging up here next to my stove, I have a few different plants, and my oldest one of the group is this golden pothos here. Doesn't have a ton of variegation, but the leaves are so shiny, and you can just tell that it's super happy. Taken a lot of cuttings from this plant, but I finally decided to let it trail down, and the vine is getting so long now. It just makes me so happy. I feel like I'm living in a jungle here with these vines. It's so great. But yeah, one of my oldest and very favorite plants. And then off of the planter, I have a few glass terrariums hanging here with air plants inside of them. This one is really unique. Sorry, the pothos is getting in the way. This one seems really unique to me. It's not really the standard air plant that you see. It kind of reminds me of grass. So I really like that one. And then this is more of the standard air plant that you would see out and about, but just really looks pretty there with the stone in the glass terrarium with the vine, and it just looks great. Also, one of my other favorite plants, they're all my favorites, who am I kidding, is this little guy. It looks so pretty in this planter too. I don't know the Latin name of this succulent. I believe it is Cliff something. We'll just call him Cliff. If you know the actual name, let me know. But it looks so good here, and it's starting to trail down. I hung it up here because every time I touched this plant, some of the leaves would fall off. It's very delicate. So up here, it's kind of a little more protected from me and my clumsiness, and it just looks so pretty here with the rest of the plants and the vines. I love it. So moving on here, I just wanted to show you this succulent tray that I have hanging before I get into the windowsill too much. It's got a lot of different small pots of succulents. Here I have a kalanchoe that is hanging on by a thread, but still alive. I'll probably cut it back and repot it this spring. There I have some Echeveria babies. This, I'm not 100% sure what he is. Looks like a Cliff to me. And here I have what I like to call my string of pearls bush. Not 100% sure what it is, but that's what it looks like. And I am genuinely so impressed with how well this plant has done. I even got it this little decoration that says, "I will survive," because I didn't think that this plant was gonna make it. So I'm so glad that the encouragement helped it do well. And it's now one of my oldest plants. It's amazing. Just encouraging the rest of you guys. And then over here, I have a Crassula vine. Again, pretty small, but I'm proud of it. Here, a Haworthia, super easy to care for. I believe this is also known as a zebra cactus. I don't think that they need a ton of light, but the more light and water that you give it, it will open up like this. And if you don't give it a lot of light, it'll kind of close up. Light or water? I just keep it here in the window. And then lastly, here on the tray, I have my Ripsalis. I haven't seen a lot of action out of this guy since I got it, but I just got it a few months ago and it is the winter time, so we'll see in spring how it does. Here on the windowsill is where I keep most of my succulents and cacti. Here I have a jade, and it's variegated with a little bit of pink on the edges of the leaves, and I just think it's so pretty. I just gave it a drink. It's a little wrinkly right now, but it should perk back up shortly. And down here in the pot, I just have one of the wings of my angel wings cactus. It was really windy here the other day and it fell off, so I put it down here in the dirt in hopes that it'll take root and grow a new cactus. And then over here next to the jade, I have, I believe, an Echeveria. I got this at my friend's baby shower and it was starting to lean towards the window, so I rotated him so that it stays that nice round shape and it doesn't lean too much. And I just repotted it here in this little cup, which I think is really cute. Love the way this little corner looks. And then over here, next to my kitchen table, which is non-functioning, I have a keyboard and plants. We see what's important in this household. But here on the table, I have my string of pearls, and I'm so proud of this plant. I have never been able to keep a string of pearls alive. I have found that they take far much more water than I realized to keep their pearls nice and full. And you can even see down here some of the pearls are smaller at the end, but I have hopes that they will grow to be nice full pearls, and I am so proud of this plant. Next, I have my string of buttons, and you can see that, again, I am not that great with watering my succulents, you guys. I'm always so afraid of overwatering them that this is what happens when you underwater a string of buttons. The leaves will start to dry up from the bottom, but it's really nice with this plant. You can just clip them off at the top and replant the tops down in, and it will just continue growing. This plant started as maybe 1 or 2 cuttings of just a top of a plant, and I've done that with these. It keeps growing babies, and I just keep cutting them down and sticking them down in the dirt there, and it does just fine. In fact, I did that here. You can see these little string of buttons, so cute. I love the way this plant grows. And this is also just a cutting of a plant. It's kind of grown down weird floppy eared like. I don't know what this plant is, but it's really pretty. So that was just another random little cutting that I like to keep on my windowsill. And then here is where I was moving around some planters of succulents outside, and these pretty Echeveria rosettes fell off, so I just stuck them in the dirt there, and they're doing fine. I turned them around again so that they aren't too lopsided. They really are right now, but... And excuse me for not introducing this lovely lady from the beginning. I was fighting to pull her hair back to show you the Echeveria, but this is one of my... this plant has my heart. This is my ponytail palm, and I've had it for a very long time. And its hair is just, it's incredible. It used to be, hair was about this long, okay? Now look at this thing. It is just, it's out of control. I love it. I sit here, I play it a song, and it just thrives. I love this plant. Next to it is another plant that I love. I love them all. Did I mention that yet? But this plant was a housewarming gift from my mom. It's my Monstera deliciosa, and it really is a monster. It was about half the height that it is now when I got it, and it's just grown and grown. I've taken cuttings from this plant. The leaves are split. They're huge. This one's not even the biggest leaf, but they're much larger than my hand. Heart-shaped beauties. This is probably my favorite plant in my collection at this time. And I really, really, really want a variegated one. If anyone knows where to get a variegated Monstera in Los Angeles that is not super expensive, please send me the details. Over here, hiding behind all of my lovely ladies, I have some more of my angel wings cacti. These were from a previous windstorm, but you can see that they have taken root, at least these two have, and they're starting to put off new cactus babies, which is super cute. And here is another just propagation of one of my outside cacti, which hasn't done a lot. It put off this one arm here, and then it turned winter, so it's kind of dormant right now. And then next to my cacti propagations, I have some of my weirder succulents, but yet some of my more favorite succulents. These are my lithopes, the two pots in the middle. They're also known as stone faces. They're meant to resemble stones, which they kind of do. They also just look like alien plants, what you would imagine on another planet. This one, I don't know the name of it. It looks to be the same similar variety as the rest, just kind of a different little cluster of rocks formation there. And then this guy at the end is called a split rock. It just kind of looks like a tongue sticking out at you, but it's also the texture of it and just the way that it looks like a stone, but it's actually a succulent. And none of these guys require water very often at all. They'll start to get a little wrinkly on top. Like these ones maybe could use a little drink, but only the one is a little wrinkly. So I'm not really gonna water these for a while until they get truly thirsty. Here in the corner next to my lithopes, I have my starfish sansevieria. I've heard that this type of snake plant needs a little bit more sun than the rest to keep that like full cylindrical shape to the leaves. You can see this guy's got a baby coming out and they're really flat. So I'm gonna try it out in this sunnier window. It's got a little bit, this window's got this board here. I don't even know what it is, but it's painted white and it kind of keeps the direct sunlight out, but you still get some sun through it. So I'm gonna see how this plant does here. And this is my kalanchoe. It's a sad plant. I'm sorry to this plant already, but I'm not gonna give up on it. I think that I can bring it back. It's gotten fried in the sun. It used to be in a spot where I just would forget about it and forget to water it. So I'm trying it here in this more shaded location, and it's a more visible location, so I won't forget to water it as much, and I'm hoping that this little corner will do it well. Well guys, thanks for watching my plant tour. If you like this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And if you haven't already, check me out on Instagram at Cardens Gardens. And I'll see you next time. Bye.